Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zakir Jacob. The Supreme Court today ordered Aam Aadmi Party councillor Kuldeep Kumar as the winner of the Chandigarh mayor election, which was mired in deep controversy. The returning officer, who controversially declared 8 votes as invalid, was castigated by the top court today. They've issued a show cause notice against the officer in question, Anil Masih, and they are most likely going to initiate criminal action against him. The BJP candidate was declared the winner of the Chandigarh mayor election and the AAP candidate resigned. Today, the Supreme Court restored the AAP candidate Kuldeep Kumar as the rightful winner of the poll. Has the blot on democracy and the democratic process been erased? And more importantly, has the top court restored faith in the election process itself?
उनके मेयर ने कल इस्तीफा दे दिया, ये जाहिर है कि उन्होंने गलत काम किया था।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जिस तरीके से इस मामले में केंद्र सरकार को एक्सपोज किया है, मुझे नहीं लगता कि इतनी साफ गोई से किसी पार्टी की लीडरशिप कभी एक्सपोज सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हुई होगी।
First time the court has intervened in an election process which had been concluded and held that there was a serious irregularity in the election process conducted by the presiding officer.
सर कुछ कहेंगे आप?
All right, so let's take you through what the Supreme Court said in a significant order today. Number one, it said that the presiding officer unlawfully altered the result of the mayoral election. The presiding officer deliberately defaced as many as 8 ballots that were cast for Kuldeep Kumar. The presiding officer also expressed patent falsehood and must be held accountable therefore. The court has also directed the registrar of the Punjab and Haryana High Court to show cause Anil Masih, who is the presiding officer, on why steps should not be taken against him to remove him from his job. Also, the court said it is duty bound to ensure that the process of electoral democracy is not thwarted. It is therefore setting aside the entire election process, the election result. It will compound the destruction of democratic principles. Only infirmity has been found in the counting process. The petitioner is declared to be validly elected to the post of mayor. Kuldeep Kumar, who had resigned, has now been restored as mayor of the Chandigarh Municipal Corporation. Now, let me go across to our guests on what is, like I said, a significant verdict today by the Supreme Court. Alok Vats is a political analyst, backs the BJP. Ashutoshsrivastava is a lawyer, also backs the BJP. Siddharth Sharma is spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, and Sumit Chandar, lawyer, is also joining us. Alok Vats, let me start with you first. The court has said that this was a mockery of democracy, indicted the presiding officer, show-caused him, and asked why criminal proceedings should not be launched against him. Do you believe that the court today has corrected a wrong in the democratic process?
Certainly, what the court has done today, it is highly laudable and very much appreciable that to save democracy, the court has taken suo motu the case against the presiding officer who was indulged and was caught on the camera in a nefarious activity. He should be fired, not suspended. He should be fired immediately because prima facie the case is proved that he has done wrong, and I believe that he has admitted it also. And there should be a thorough probe on this matter. All those, you see, Anil Masih is not the only culprit. There must be a series of people who must have pressurized him or, lured him, whatever it is. So there should be a thorough probe to know who the real culprits behind this.
Ashutosh Srivastava, the presiding officer was castigated by the top court today. But do you believe, as Alok Vats is saying, that he acted on his own, that he was a solitary operator, or that there were powerful forces backing him?
Absolutely. He has functioned on his own in his individual capacity. And even when we see the order, Supreme Court has not made any remark against any political party. It has remarked only against one particular person who was given certain duties, and he was supposed to discharge his duties with full responsibilities, but he has not done so. And accordingly, the court came to such a conclusion that the prosecution may also be initiated against him. And obviously the disciplinary proceedings and all will be taken against him by the government.
So you are sure that this was one lone wolf acting on his own? He had no powerful backers. How could a presiding officer who is a bureaucrat so blatantly disregard the election process in a democracy like ours?
First of all, in all the elections, we know that the ballot is not the process to be followed. The EVMs are followed, and which issues were also raised earlier in the same Supreme Court, which denied many such PILs and said that the elections are being conducted in a proper manner by the EVMs. So, considering this particular aspect, that is why the Supreme Court said that the prosecution may be initiated under Section 340 of CRPC, and which says that there has to be some inquiry. So, an inquiry has to be set up, and accordingly, the report will come up after the inquiry, which will clarify the further stand of this particular person who has acted against the principles of law. And accordingly, I would also say that the Supreme Court, that's why has not made any remarks against anybody, any political party, except this particular officer who was in charge to conduct fair election in the
I want to ask Siddharth Sharma of the Aam Aadmi Party this. Ashutosh Srivastava's contention is, and if you were to peruse the order of the Supreme Court, it has not mentioned any political party by name, either BJP or AAP or any other political party for that matter. It has singularly kept its focus and its attacks on Anil Masi, the returning officer, and his conduct, which vitiated the entire democratic process.
Yeah, I think it's what has essentially happened is that Chandigarh has brought to open BJP's secret 9-point recipe to swindle people. Point number 1, try not to do an election. Then, if you are forced to do an election, appoint a BJP agent as an election officer rather than a neutral guy. Then invalidate all votes cast against BJP. Then declare BJP as the winner. Villainize anyone who complains about rigging. If still you keep on losing, indulge in horse trading. When caught, try to brazen it out. Essentially, this is what Supreme Court has said, not me. And going further, still if you lose badly like they do in BJP, change law to usurp power to yourself. Then go brazenly further ahead and stop others from doing work by jailing them. Essentially, BJP is turning Loktantra into some kind of Thoktantra.
No, but Siddharth Sharma, how do you say all this when the court has not said any of this?
All the things I've said is all the things. The first 6 points I said, first 7 points I said, the court has said. The only 2 points I said was what BJP does after that. Now, let me complete it. BJP is essentially shouting from the rooftop to assure its ecosystem that for them power is everything. Paradoxically, people vote for a government for service, not to give somebody power. So essentially, this is a quintessential emperor is naked moment for BJP, a moment when its Pradhanji has to either own up or reject this modus operandi of stealing elections. And what are its ramifications? The ramification is that with this team, India has proven that it is mathematically impossible for the BJP to now win 2024.
No, one second. Siddharth Sharma, that's a gross extrapolation. I don't think one municipal corporation in one part of the country represents all of India. That's a complete extrapolation. But be that as it may, let me ask, there's no point you and me shouting at each other, Mr. Sharma, please calm down. Let me ask Sumit Chandar, do you agree with this contention that, as bad as what happened in the Chandigarh mayor election, and the Supreme Court is 100% right to pull up the presiding officer and say he had no business to be defacing 8 validly cast ballots. As bad as what happened there, this extrapolation that Mr. Siddharth Sharma of Aam Aadmi Party has made, that India Alliance is numerically can't be defeated, that it has numbers over and above what the BJP gets. Do you subscribe to that extrapolation?
See, there is an entire interpretation of the Supreme Court judgment going here and there. Let us be very clear. Supreme Court has only tried here to protect the democracy, which was here at risk. It was the moment it came to the notice of the Supreme Court that things are going wrong, Supreme Court has pulled it up. Now what the Supreme Court, the contention was that the ballot should be rendered as invalid and those kind of things.
Yes.
There are rules and laws. The Constitution provides for everything in line. You cannot go beyond the Constitution. The Supreme Court is very clear that in order to protect and uphold the Constitution, it has gone to Rule 73(2), and under that rules, the ballots can be rendered invalid only in 3 conditions. One, if the votes are cast for more than 2 candidates, if a mark is left identifying the voter, and if a mark is left on the ballot making it difficult to ascertain. So there are only 3 conditions given under the law that the ballot can be rendered invalid. That is not the case here. Yes, so that is not the case here. That is why Supreme Court said that, listen, once the election has taken place, what now remains to be seen is who has the majority, and the majority party, after the recounting was done, was found to be a certain political party, and accordingly,
could the court not have ordered a re-election and a recount instead of saying that we are setting aside the result declared by the returning officer? We are declaring that these 8 votes were valid votes voted in favor of the AAP candidate. Could it not have set aside that declaration and said have a re-election and a recount?
No, like I said, to set aside the entire validity and declare the ballots as invalid for a re-election, there are only 3 conditions which were not fulfilled in this case.
Okay.
So that is why re-election, Supreme Court says there is no question of going back to re-elections. What needs to be focused on is recounting, which has been done. A majority has been found by an independent person which has counted, and accordingly
the contention of Sumit Chandar, the Aam Aadmi Party, is also that this is a blow to the BJP. BJP talks about India being mother of democracy, but look at the process being vitiated in the Chandigarh mayor polls, and that also, to take what Mr. Sharma is saying, that this is an example that India Alliance, if it came together and worked well, numerically it can beat the BJP. Please respond to that.
Well, it was Punjab, where already BJP is on a not very formidable wicket. But had it been in some other states, the story would not have been the same. Let me tell you one thing. They are trying to accuse BJP of this whole episode, but even the court has not taken the name of BJP or any political party for that matter. People are conceiving that it was the BJP who orchestrated or who architected the whole thing from behind the scene. But there is no foolproof plan to put the finger on BJP. So BJP is not at all in the scene, but yes, let there be a thorough probe. Then things will come out. Who are the culprits behind it? Who instigated Anil Messi? But nowhere the court nor any particular man or anybody has said that the BJP was involved in it.
But what about the contention made by Sumit Chandar, Mr. Vats, that the court had no option but to validate these 8 votes voted in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party candidate? It could not have ordered for a re-election or a recount. Because in the meanwhile, 3 of the AAP councillors who had won on an AAP ticket, they have joined the BJP just yesterday.
Let me tell you one thing, Jacob. This switching over sides by people, it has become the order of the day. And it has been happening since last many years. Now, principal politics is set aside. Who will join whom, who will marry whom, who will divorce whom, when nobody, even political pundits, will not be able to predict anything about it. So that is the order of the day, and take it like that. They must have deemed fit to go along with BJP, so they switch sides. Is it something new? It is happening everywhere.
So should
I don't
there
know.
be rules then, Ashutosh Srivastava? We know there is the anti-defection law, but clearly anti-defection law did not prevent change of MLAs' positions when it came to Maharashtra. Not once but twice over, first with the Shiv Sena and then subsequently with the Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP. Should there be laws in this country, electoral laws, amendment to the Representation of People's Act, that if a person is elected on a particular party's symbol, then if he or she chooses to leave that party and go to another party, then automatically their membership gets cancelled?
The principle behind it is there in the Constitution, which says that a person who is having the mandate of the people, whom he is representing. So the Constitution has given such kind of a provision by which even if he changes the party, that continues, because it is said that he is being represented by the people, by certain voters who has voted him as an individual.
No, but
Maybe
the voters
not as
would have
a
also
political-
backed for the political party that he or she represented and what that party stands for. Having won on that party's ticket and that party's ideology, then to switch sides is also at some level making a mockery of the people's mandate.
The elections are, regular in nature. It is not a permanent thing. So that keeps on going. Now, the person or the, elected person who has won the votes of the people, he decides how he can represent the people in a better way. So that mandate has been given by the Constitution. So if any law has to amend, then it will be difficult, because the entire constitutional system is required to change in this particular situation. So it will not be that easy.
Mr. Siddharth Sharma, on the one hand, you haven't answered why the court is not specifically named any political party, even as it castigated the presiding officer, but leave that as it is. I also want to seek your explanation on why 3 of your councillors who were elected as Aam Aadmi Party councillors have left your party and joined the BJP, and there's no whimper about it.
Yeah, fair question, and I'll answer that. But before that, to the wise viewers of CNN News 18, let them understand, let them see that highlighted today, that today being a landmark judgment day, BJP spokespersons are not coming on national television. This is a clear giveaway that for BJP, nation comes second, the BJP comes first. Now, as far as the law is concerned, I would have liked if the lawyers in our midst would have highlighted this, and this is a very important thing that I'm saying, that the legislature in India thinks that it can frame any biased law and then expect the judiciary to fall in line. But there is an Article 142. Today's judgment of the Supreme Court has come under the purview of Article 142, which says that where the law is bad, the Supreme Court can dispense complete justice. So that exactly has been done. And now, as far as the Aam Aadmi Party's 3 councillors are concerned, we know, I've said this earlier, that when BJP doesn't complete its numbers, it goes for horse trading, and this is not what I said, this is the Supreme Court has said. You can do horse trading in 2 ways. You can give some green grass to the horse, or you can rob someone's horse from its stable. So what has happened, we don't know. But right now, what the Supreme Court has said is that it has gone to status quo ante, because BJP always plays that if something has gone wrong, let us replay the match. Now, between that old match and the replayed match, they changed the status quo. And this is the first time that the Supreme Court has invoked Article 142 and said that no, it will go back to status quo ante. And that status quo ante, Article 142 invocation, is the most critical aspect as of today. I thought that the lawyers in our midst, 2 people would have highlighted this. They didn't, so that's why I highlighted.
Mr. Srivastava, please respond to that. Like I've been asking Sumit Chandar and also to Mr. Sharma. The court could have said, let's cancel the election, let's have a re-vote and a re-election and a re-vote, but that's not what the court did.
Whatever the court, after looking at the arguments of both the sides and documents in place, it came to a conclusion that, and as my learned friend also mentioned, the 3 conditions by which only the re-election can take place as per the law. But since none of the conditions were, matching this particular situation, and hence the Supreme Court came to a conclusion that instead of going for re-election, it will be wiser in the interest of justice that the same election can be continued and the 8 ballots can be counted accordingly, and then the results can be announced. And accordingly, the Supreme Court passed the order. Now the Article 142, what my friend just now said, gives power directly to the Supreme Court to decide certain matters. So obviously, the Supreme Court, not only in this matter, in many such cases which are of national importance or which is in the interest of people at large, can take the matter in itself and can decide, and accordingly it decided the issue. So this is how it is.
So Sumit Chandar, if as Mr. Sharma says that this shows that the India alliance is alive and well, then why is the alliance splitting in Bengal? Why is the alliance splitting in Bihar? Even in Delhi and Punjab, where Aam Aadmi Party is ruling, there is no consensus, no agreement. In fact, both Mr. Maan and Mr. Kejriwal have said that they will fight alone. I'll ask this to Mr. Sharma also, but first Sumit Chandar.
I'm not a political analyst, but what I can say is wherever the democracy it is at stake, as in this case, Supreme Court will intervene. So what we need to see is, at this stage, if the Supreme Court has intervened and it has given logical reasoning for that. So there is no point today going about how politically it is affected, good, bad, ugly. In either case, irrespective of which government, I think one thing that is clear is that under no circumstances can the very democracy be put at stake by any party whatsoever. That is what the Supreme Court
Okay, Mr. Sharma.
I think Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, has made it clear. You can defeat BJP with good strategy. When we say good strategy, it does not mean fighting together. It means that sitting together and forming a very good strategy. And that is a very good strategy in Punjab, that we fight differently and win more seats. That is what Arvind Kejriwal was saying. So this is a game. It is a chess game. Please understand, in politics as well as sports, they are not blood sports where you draw blood. You do not, in politics and sports, they are not, your opposition is not an enemy to kill. It is a play, it is a game where you don't draw blood, but you defeat them fair and square. So that is what
but Mr. Sharma, then in the chessboard of Bengal, in the chessboard of Punjab, in the chessboard of Delhi, chessboard of UP today, why is India Alliance not fighting together?
Isn't it possible that India Alliance is trying to give mixed signals and keeping BJP confused by all this? Isn't it possible?
Sir, पहले आप confused ना लगे, उसके बाद किसी और को confuse करने की बात।
हम आज जीत के हमने फर्स्ट विकेट
वो तो एक म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन में है ना।
तो म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन में है।
आप ये बताइए कि बंगाल, बिहार, उत्तर प्रदेश, पंजाब, दिल्ली, यहाँ पे क्या आप कंफ्यूज हो कि आप बीजेपी को कंफ्यूज करना चाहते हैं?
चंडीगढ़
नहीं, सिद्धार्थ जी, वाई इन बंगाल, बिहार, यूपी, पंजाब, दिल्ली, आप खुद कंफ्यूज हो या आप बीजेपी को कंफ्यूज करना चाह रहे हैं? Because it seems like आप खुद कंफ्यूज्ड हैं।
नहीं सर, वो इसीलिए तो गलतफहमी में रखना पड़ता है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने आज बताया कि स्ट्रेटेजाइज करके हराना पड़ता है और बहुत अच्छी स्ट्रेटेजी है। पहला विकेट बीजेपी का चंडीगढ़ में गिर गया।
ठीक है, तो आलोक वत्स, ये तो बिल्कुल वो शाहरुख खान वाला डायलॉग हो गया, हार के जीतने वाले को कहते हैं बाजीगर। दिस इज द इंडिया अलायंस स्ट्रेटेजी।
Let me tell you one thing, Mr. Jacob. It was just a matter of fluke that they made it. They are not at all in hand in glove with each other. It was in a pond that they were able to, survive. But when it comes to sea, they are at sea with each other. Categorically, the Bhagwat Maan, the CM of Punjab, and even Kejriwal has said that we are going to fight it alone in Punjab.
Yeah.
And also in Delhi. So, where is this strategy going to fall then? When you are going to fight alone, it's going to be your own battle. So where does this strategic plan get fit into? All this is beating about the bush. India alliance is falling apart day by day, and before the 2024 election, they will be totally scattered, and BJP under Narendra Modi, who is gunning to cross 400 seats, will almost touch that mark. The mood of the nation is different.
Okay.
A lot of quality works that have been delivered to the Aam Aadmi by the Modi government, and people have the confidence that he is the man who can lead.
Okay. We'll see how that plays out. Of course, we have a couple of months between now and the Lok Sabha election. It's a story that we'll be very, very closely tracking here on CNN News 18. In the meanwhile, thank you very much to all our guests who joined us with their thoughts and perspective. A significant ruling today from the Supreme Court on the Chandigarh mayor elections. But